Shall we start the program? Dr. Gita, are you in? Dr. Gita?
Dr. Gita is in, Priti. I can see her.
I'm very much here. I'm very much.
So shall we start, madam?
Sure. I'm ready.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to the gathering especially created for Women's Day. The topic for the day is A Woman's Journey, Realizing Her Potential. Well, a woman's journey is not always a bed of roses, but she definitely makes it rosier for the people she associates with, be it a mother who leaves no stone unturned to raise her child well, a female doctor menstruating and finding it so difficult to do her night duty, yet treating her patients so courteously, a domestic help running from pillar to post, working hard to make both ends meet, and so on. Our speaker for the day, Dr. Gita Arjun, gynecologist at EV Kalyani Medical Center, Chennai, will delve deeper into a woman's journey and give us practical points. The theme this year is to choose the challenge. Welcome, dear madam. We eagerly await your oration on the theme, the journey, and more. Madam is well known as a speaker, author, gynecologist, and a compassionate fellow human being. The last
Don't listen.
I have sensed in the few interactions we had. We have among us Dr. Zarina Gilvas, head of OBG Jubilee, for the felicitation. Madam has completed more than 34 years of service at Jubilee. Today, I asked an undergraduate student, what do you have to say of Zarina, madam, in a few lines? This is what she told me. She's one of the most respected doctors, a well-admired teacher, and moreover, a really amazing human being. Always charming with a sweet smile, I agree to that, and pleasant attitude. Welcome, Dr. Zarina, for the felicitation. Jovina Rafi, president of Inner Wheel Club Thrissur, will also be felicitating the function. A teacher by profession and a homemaker, Madam is very much involved in charitable activities. Right now, she's involved with her team members with the Down Syndrome Trust and helping them to achieve financial independence. Kudos to you and the team, Madam, as I welcome you for the felicitation. To introduce the speaker, we have Dr. Kalyani Pillai, a brilliant professor at Amala Medical College. And she's an avid researcher to you. Warm welcome to you, Dr. Kalyani. Following the talk, we will have release of video showing a few Wonder Women of IAP Thrissur. Mind you, these are only the tip of the iceberg because we could not cover all the darlings of our branch. Credit goes to Dr. Manjusha Rajesh, who did this video. She is the assistant professor at Sri Narayana Institute of Medical Science, Kochi. Manjusha actually has a brilliant academic background with lot of gold medals to her credit. But Manjusha, today we are giving you a special medal of appreciation to show us in such a flattering light. So let us start the program. Ladies, all ready? So if so, just put on the videos for a minute. Let us all take a click together. That is with a hand, with a symbol and sign of the day. So I request everyone to put on the video, and this is the symbol. Do put on your videos, everybody. Srijit, just see if it's all okay.
Many are still hidden, madam.
Huh?
Please put on the video, please.
Everybody on with the videos. Manjusha, Vinita, Millie, all. Srijit, is it okay?
Okay, okay.
Okay. Done?
It's okay, okay. It's over.
Okay. Okay. Next, I invite Dr. Sarina for the felicitation. Dr. Zarina Gilwas.
Yeah, thank you.
Madam, I do hope you heard my introduction. Whether
I
you
did,
came in.
I did, I did, I did. You just told this? It's recording. Hi, ma'am, and all the lovely ladies out there. A very happy Women's Day to you all. Women are the largest untapped reservoir of talent in this world, says Hillary Clinton, and I fully endorse that statement. Today, March 8th, has been dedicated to the women at large. It's a global day celebrating women's accomplishments. It's a great honor that the world has stopped to recognize every woman, be she big or small, great or insignificant. She cannot be compared. They say a woman's life is a full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and love. Her hardships, her dedication, her care, her love, her warmth, her patience, her silent achievements is truly commendable. To address us this evening, we could not have had a better personality than Dr. Gita Arjun, whom I've known for over 2 decades. A great clinician, teacher, a dear friend, and above all, a wonderful human being. She is the embodiment of all that a woman stands for. And as we eagerly await to hear her, let me wind up by saying, a woman will always be an inspiration wherever she is. Let's acknowledge her achievements in making this world a better world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zarina, for the inspiring words. Next, I invite Mrs. Jovina Raffi for the felicitation.
Yeah, good evening, friends, and a great happy Women's Day to all. I'd like to quote by saying, every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. We are strongest when we cheer each other on, unquote, by Serena Williams. As this year's theme suggests, choose to challenge. A challenged world is an alert world, and from challenges comes change. As women, our great potential lies in adapting ourselves. So I would like to thank and also appreciate each woman over here for taking the challenge and for moving on and for taking the initiative to be the success and to be the helping out each other in achieving various goals, especially with our friends, in our families, in your workplace. So I would like to conclude by saying success is never reached alone, and wisdom and wealth are sweeter shared. So once more, happy Women's Day to all. And I appreciate once more the IAP for organizing such a beautiful event and giving us an opportunity to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Jovina. Now I invite Dr. Kalyani Pillai to introduce the speaker.
Good evening, all. I hope I'm audible, Rati.
Yes, you are very much.
I'm happy to introduce the guest speaker of the day, Dr. Gita Arjun. Dr. Gita, ma'am, is a fascinating, multifaceted personality, as Dr. Serena quite rightly said. She's a graduate from the prestigious Madras Medical College and a fellow of the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. In addition to being a doctor gynecologist, she is also an avid debater, educator, and organizer par excellence, and wears all hats with ease. She is a champion of women empowerment and issues like sustainable menstrual hygiene are close to her heart. She will deliver her address on the theme, A Woman's Journey, Realizing Her Potential, on the occasion of this International Women's Day. IAP Thrissur is indeed lucky to have such a distinguished speaker, and ma'am, we look forward to hear you. Thank you and happy Women's Day. Over to you, ma'am. Geeta, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm just,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, Kalyani. Thank you, Serena, my dear friend, for all those lovely words. I'm absolutely touched. Thrissur, and it's very, very close to my heart. There is no question about it. And I'm deeply honored to be part of this meeting today. I'm going to start sharing the screen. And I do request the host to mute everybody else. Right. Is the screen seen? Can everybody see the slide, Rati?
Yes, madam, it's very visible. Yeah.
Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself. You're still muted. Geeta, ma'am. Hello?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible now.
Okay, great. All right. So every year, the world gets together and celebrates the International Women's Day. And I think it's important because very often in the day-to-day life, as women carry on everything, they don't always look for recognition or appreciation. But as women, we do wear many, many hats, and we do carry on so many things that show the world that we are worth appreciating. I do thank the IAP of Thrissur for having given me the opportunity of talking today. And today, my talk is Reaching Her Potential, A Woman's Journey. I'm not going to be talking particularly about how to succeed, but I'm going to be concentrating on how a woman can reach her actual potential. Rumi, a very famous Sufi poet in the 13th century, said, "You have wings, learn to use them and fly." That is potential. Every person is born with some potential, some gift, some way of making a mark on this world. Unfortunately, women particularly not necessarily are able to reach their potential. Sometimes, I'm sorry, I'm just going to set the timer so that I don't go over. Right. So women don't always reach their potential because of cultural issues, because of the fact that sometimes they don't have a mentor or somebody to help them come up, and sometimes because they just don't recognize their own potential. I'm going to split my talk into several acts. And act one is, of course, with the girl child. And what do we want of our girl child? What we want her to be ultimately the one person who stands out in the crowd. We want her to do so well. We want her to be different. We want her to achieve everything that she can. And for this, we do unfortunately put a lot of pressure on our children. And today's children are under tremendous pressure to show that they will achieve and they can achieve. But also, just remember, the parents are also under enormous pressure. What happens when we have a baby? You know, the responsibility is enormous. We have this child and we are in charge of molding this child into becoming a good human being, a successful human being, a person who can make his way in this, her way in the world. But unfortunately, what they don't tell you, we look at parenthood with great, wonderful, happiness and joy. What they don't tell you is those babies who scream and cry. The baby who is your child is the only one at the birthday party who is having a tantrum. You look at your lovely son and daughter, and you're so thrilled when they're young, and you say they're so loving of each other. And then they grow up, and all of a sudden they are fighting each other and biting each other. My husband's a surgeon, and he used to tell me when our children used to fight, he'd say, "I'm a surgeon, call me only if you see blood. Okay, otherwise I'm not interested." So this is what happens. And you are that happy, proud parent, your child is taking part in a KG event, and your daughter is the only one who's got a finger up her nose. So this is what happens. This is what parenthood is all about. But ultimately, we love them. And my favorite saying that you may not always like your children. There are days when they really make you so angry or so unhappy or depressed, but you always, always love them unconditionally. And one thing that we have to teach our children is life skills. And that is the most important thing that you can do as a parent to help the child achieve her potential. One is teach them values. Okay, in this world where people don't even seem to know what is right and what is wrong, I think as parents we have to clearly show them that we have to have values. We have to teach them the merits of hard work. We have all worked very hard to come up to where we are, not because somebody just gave us what we have. We have worked very hard, and the children should learn that. I remember a classmate of my son, we were all talking about, it's so important, and we worked so hard. We had to, take a bus, and we had to change buses 3 times. And he said, "But auntie, it's not my fault that my parents are wealthy." Okay, so we worked hard, we made the wealth, we did everything, and we want to give them the best. But don't make it easy for them. They have to learn that you have to work hard, and that's how you get everything in life. Teach them the skills for coping with life, and teach them to explore. When I talk about skills for coping, the thing is that we tend to tell our children, "Oh, you didn't do you didn't do well in your maths exam. Oh, the teacher is useless. Oh, that other boy got 100%. Oh, he's so lucky." No, it's not that. You have to say, "Okay, you didn't do well. All right, let's get together. Let's figure out how to do well. Let's teach them skills. Let's teach them how to do well, not just put the blame on so-called luck." Because what is good luck ultimately? It's preparedness, meeting, and colliding with opportunity. When you're prepared and the opportunity comes to you, and then you grab the opportunity and you're already prepared to handle that opportunity that has come to you, that's when you will succeed. Exploring the world is so important. Give your children everything and show them the world through different media. One is reading books. And I think that's one thing we were so particular about. We would read to our children and read to our children. And however busy we are, the end of the day, we were reading to our children, because that expands your mind, helps the child see the world even before they step out into the world. Teach them music, show them music, take them to concerts, take them to museums, show them what exists outside their world, the small world that they are actually seeing. So exploring the world helps them ultimately reach the potential, because it teaches them what else there is in life that they can achieve. Build memories. Okay, however busy you are, whatever career you have, remember that you need to spend time with the children and build memories, and give them something to look back and say, "Hey, you know what? My mother spent time with me." Because that's one thing, if you ask a career woman, all children will say, "I wish I had more time." So don't give them that opportunity to say that. You can work very hard, but can you also give them all the time to build memories? Pay attention. That's all children want, is they want you to make eye contact. Even if it is half an hour of your entire day, pay attention. In our family, it was absolutely a rule that dinner was together. We all got together for dinner. We would sit together and eat at 8 o'clock. That was non-negotiable. We all ate together. And for heaven's sake, put away your devices. You don't have to have the, nobody is going to die just because you didn't have that phone on. And you don't have to reply to that WhatsApp message immediately. Put away your devices. Pay attention to your children. They will remember that. They will definitely remember that. Ultimately, not only giving them the skills, but giving them the license to fly. Don't make their world, don't say, I have a hospital, so you have to become a doctor and you have to run that hospital. Don't put boundaries around them. Let them decide what they want to be and help them fly, help them soar, because that's so important. And more importantly, at one point, you should be able to say, go, leave the nest, leave, fly, go away wherever you want to go. Because if you love something, set it free. This is a very common, famous saying. If it comes back, it was and always will be yours. Don't cling to your children. But if it just sits in your living room, messes up the stuff, eats your food, uses your mobile, takes your money, and never seems to know that you actually set it free in the first place, you either married it or gave birth to it. Okay, so let them soar, but sometimes there is a question of difficulty in leaving, the house, the home. Let's come to Act 2. Now the girl has got herself some confidence, some degrees, some skills, an ability to earn money or whatever. She has achieved everything. And at this point, it's important for us to also help her understand that success is no accident. It's not a turn of the dice. It is definitely something that you have to work for. And for youngsters if there are any youngsters on this talk today, I want them to know that the road to success is always difficult. It's always being constructed, under construction. It can have curves, it can have slopes, but one thing you have to do is you decide first. This is my path, and however difficult it is, I am going to commit to it. Once you commit yourself to this path, then you will find success. And that's something that you have to consistently show by example, that you decide, you commit, you succeed. You don't just keep on saying, oh, I could be this, I could be that, but I won't work for it. It's very important to commit yourself to it. I always say that opportunity is like a bus stop. You're standing at the bus stop and buses are coming and going, and suddenly it goes, and then you start shouting and say, hey, I want to get on that bus. No, you can't do that. Sometimes you might have to get onto a bus. It may be taking you to the wrong place, doesn't matter. You can hop off and you can get onto the right bus. But the thing is, you have to be able to recognize the opportunity. And if they make a mistake, it doesn't matter. You can always change. Sometimes too many people want the same thing. Everybody wants to do BCom. Everybody wants to be a chartered accountant. Everybody wants to be a doctor. Everybody wants to be an engineer. So you have to start helping your child think, or yourself as a person think, what is the other thing that I can do? I'm very good at languages. Let me learn Chinese. Let me learn Mandarin, and then I can combine it with my MBA degree, and I can be a business person I can do business with China. Let me do something which is slightly off the trodden path. And sometimes if you have missed the bus, it may be good. Things may happen for a reason, because you may not want to be on this bus. You may not want to be taken this opportunity and then be in this situation where you might be falling off a cliff. Okay, so if you miss the opportunity, it doesn't matter. Go for the next one and the next one and the next one, and you will ultimately find the right thing. The thing is, once we start working or have combined so many aspects of our lives together. We as women, I think it's a very particularly a woman thing. We keep on introspecting and saying, am I the perfect employee? Am I the perfect boss? Am I the perfect wife? Am I the perfect mother? We always wonder if we are good at what we are doing. We have a need to be, told that you are the best, or at least we are worried about it. You may be one of the best surgeons in the world, okay, or in the country, or in the state, or in the city, or in the town. But then you also have to be the best cook, because ultimately you have to be so good that your son ruins his wife's day by saying, this sambar is not as good as what my mother used to make, okay? And also you have to be a judge, jury, everything for your children, because each one will say, oh, you love him more, you love her more. Whatever you say, they will say. And I used to have an answer. I used to tell, when my son said, oh, you love her more, you always take her side. I say, yeah, that's because you are adopted. Or when she said, no, you're always siding him, I'll say, oh, that's because you are adopted, So it's just back and forth. Whatever you do, your children will think you're paying more attention to the other one. You also have to take care of your parents, your in-laws, you have the next door, your aunt who lives next door, her health issues. So you have to do all that. You have to combine so many things. And if you're very lucky, then your husband also pitches in and takes on a lot of the responsibilities, especially if you're a working woman, takes on the responsibility of bringing up the children. The working mother has her own guilt-ridden secret life. We are constantly thinking, our life-work balance is not okay. Are we caring? Sometimes, because we are all ambitious. We are successful because we are ambitious. It's not that we don't have ambitions, but then we also have to worry about our family. We also have to take care of our career. We want to do the best in our career. And the working mother is always being pulled one way or the other. Traditionally, we were told, that children of working mothers are deprived of attention, grow up with emotional and educational problems. And that was a guilt we carried. But definitely studies have shown that children of working mothers grow up with independence and the ability to survive on their own. Okay, that is something that I have seen in my own children. There's no question about it. They learn to work with us at the time when we are able to give them the time. They're exposed to work skills. They learn from us. They say, how is she doing this? How is she managing home? How is she managing my grandmother? How is she managing the family? And they also learn how to work. And they learn time management and organization proficiency. My children were with me throughout when I used to run progress from the time they were 7 or 8 till the time they went to college. They were there. They saw how we ran things. And now I see them showing the same phenomenal organizational skills and proficiency. So I do believe that children of working mothers are not impacted because of that. But also, we have to prioritize our lives. We tend to put ourselves last. As women, we tend to put ourselves last. You have to prioritize your life. You have to put yourself first in many, many ways. Don't become a martyr. Don't say, I'm Mother India, I will do everything. Oh, first of all, this certainly dates me, because nobody over less than the age of 60 will remember this movie, Mother India. But here, Nargis did everything. She took care of her children. She took care of the farm. She did everything. Don't have to be a martyr. Ask for help. Ask your husband, your in-laws, your family, your friends. Everybody can pitch in and help you out. There's no need to be a martyr. We have to have me time. And please remember, me time is not WhatsApp. Unplug from this and take hours when you're not constantly looking at your devices. Me time can be reading a book, even for 15 minutes a day. And when everybody else is asleep, I quickly sit down, I have my little cup of hot beverage, and I will be reading. Listen to music, gardening. Gardening is my passion. And all these things, it doesn't require a whole day. It requires a few minutes of your time. just stepping out, looking at your garden, just reading a book. So give yourself me time, because you need to prioritize yourself. You are very, very important in the scheme of things. And when you are healthy mentally, your family will do well. This is a Japanese word, ikigai, which I love, because it says that you wake up with a purpose. And as a woman, you need to give yourself structure in your day, whether you're a young girl, whether you're a working woman, or you're a retired person. You have to give structure. And that's what makes my days run very fast. I retired at the age of 61 because I looked at my life and I said, you know, I have achieved so much. I've done so well, and I've done everything that I wanted. But now I don't know how long I'm going to live, but I need to now put everything on myself. I want to concentrate on myself. I want to concentrate on what the world has to offer me. I want to travel. I want to write. I want to do so many things. So, but you know, people say, what do you do all day? And I say, the 24 hours are not enough for me, because there is so much I have to do. And so structuring your day is very, very important. And I think something, even if you don't write it down, I think all of us need to sit down and count our blessings. We need to look at the joy we have achieved that particular day. It could be just a simple thing. It could be somebody who just smiled at you. It could be something that happened for you and you are so grateful for it. Put it down. Put it down either in your head but please count your blessings, because joy and gratitude have been shown to help the happiness index. And you have to shed stress. Life throws things at you all the time. Something or the other can go wrong and you're so stressed out. And I truly believe that you can either meditate, which is basically, meditation is really not necessarily sitting and talking to God. It's just a question of concentrating on yourself. It can be creative visualization. Happiness comes from creative visualization. I truly believe that. If you have some memory, like Lake Bled is one of my most favorite places in the world. I went to Slovenia and I said, this is out of a fairy tale. This can't really exist. So colorful, so calm, this thing. So you can put your mind to something which is colorful and calming and brings you joy. It could be anything. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be the sight of God or thoughts of God or thoughts of anything else. It could be anything. And when you're sitting in your corner with a smile on your face, nobody knows what you're thinking about, but it certainly got rid of your stress. Act 3, relationships. It's extremely important to remember that keeping up our relationships and nurturing them and keeping them safe is an extremely important part of achieving your potentials. Because relationships, everybody thinks of relationships as something, you start off, you're running around the trees, you're singing songs, there is always a soundtrack, either Hollywood or Bollywood or some soundtrack in your head, and love is so wonderful. But relationships can very quickly deteriorate. And to achieve the potential of your relationship, you can't allow certain things to happen. And for that, we need us time, okay? So again, we get so caught up with our children, their examinations, our career, whatever it is, and or we're taking care of other people in our lives, that we forget that we have to also nurture and achieve the maximum potential of our relationship. Again, as I said, it starts off wonderful, but will it end wonderfully? Will it, at the end of your lives, will you also still be happy with each other? And as I said, it's extremely important to give yourself us time. And this is one of the reasons that I retired, because I said, hey, you know what? I have such a good time with Arjun. We love talking to each other. And I don't know how far we will survive. At least let us have some very good quality time with each other. The nurturing a relationship has 6 C's. And to reach a point where you're still smiling at the end of your life together, you have to have courtesy. And I think courtesy is extremely important. We are courteous to our boss, we are courteous to our employees, we are courteous to everybody who meets us on the road, but we're not courteous to the person we live with in the same house. Show courtesy. Be kind constantly. It's not something that you put on. Courtesy is extremely important. Communication. Never go to bed on a fight. Okay. And let me tell you something. Men don't quite understand what communication is. If you're very angry and you're sitting in one corner, he'll think, oh, for once she's quiet, and he'll go and watch his cricket match. Okay. He's not going to come and say, why are you not talking to me? Men don't quite understand communication. So you have to be the one, without being aggressive and angry, you have to communicate and make him understand what it's all about. Compromise. Women are negotiators. It is built into our heart, wired into us. We know how to compromise. And I don't mean become a doormat and let the other person walk all over you. I'm saying that you bend a little bit, compromise a little bit to achieve what you actually wanted. The other thing is caring. This is again a non-negotiable thing. You have to care for your partner. You have to care for them, and this is non-negotiable. It's always there. It is the background of your life. Have common interests, because after, the initial passion and the love and all that wears down, common interest is what will keep you guys going. And so you have to learn together what interests together. You can't have one person in one room, the other person in another room with absolutely no communication. You have to have common interest. And this is the last word is for every youngster out there. There has to be commitment. And it's not just commitment to one person, it is commitment to that institution of marriage or the relationship, whatever. It has to be a commitment. And this is what will keep you together for a long time. Now we come to the mature years. And you know that women, like wine, get better with maturity. As we mature, and especially now when I've reached that age, I love to say that, oh, the mature years are the best, and I have matured well, okay? And that is because we look at the things that happen as we mature: menstrual disturbances, menopause, mental stress. Strangely, all of women's probably begin with men. What is the question about it? Okay, so if you learn to live with men and live, with whatever problems they cause us, I think you will reach a very happy, mature time. Also, growing older does not always have its disadvantages. There are a lot of advantages to being a more mature woman. Advantage number 27, this was in New York, and I was there, and my niece was so embarrassed, she would not go and pose with him. I said, hello, I'd like to pose with a half-naked hunk, why not? So at a certain age, there are certain advantages. You don't quite get embarrassed about certain things. So enjoy and celebrate your maturity. There are many, many advantages to it. There are 6 M's that come with maturity, that come with growing older. And this is something that I would like to talk about, because this is something that we will all face. Even the very young people must remember that at one point you will be older and something will have to be done. There are 6 things that we have to concentrate on as an older person: mind, money, memory, maintaining health, Mr. and Mrs., the relationship that we talked about. I'll talk a little bit more about it. And then also mental harmony, happiness, and acceptance. Mark Twain said, age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. quite frankly, this month I'm going to be 69, but my insides just keep telling me maybe 40, not more than that, and I have to keep reminding myself, hey, you are 69, you're going to have to slow down, but I don't feel like slowing down. So it's all a question about how you feel about yourself, how you think, that this is how I'm going to run my life. I'm going to reach my potential. And there is no stop to it. Okay. There is no stop to it. You keep on achieving more and more and more as you grow older. And to keep your mind sharp, be as curious at 70 as you were at 7. And I think this is absolutely the secret of being young. Okay. Everything should excite you. Learning new things and learning about new things, learning a new recipe, constantly challenging yourself to learn something new, to expose yourself to something new, to be excited about something new. And I think that is so important to keep your mind sharp and, to put away and push away Alzheimer's and dementia, is to constantly challenge your mind. I personally still find each day too short for all the thoughts I want to think, all the books I want to read and write, all the laughter I want to share, all the roads I want to explore, the roads I want to walk on, and all the worlds I want to explore. I feel like, and as you grow older, you'll realize that the time just seems to run and run faster and faster and faster as we reach the final act. And therefore, use every day to do something new and enjoy yourself. Because, I always say that happiness is very transient. Sadness, tragedy, bad things are guaranteed in everybody's life. So if we keep on only looking for happiness, we are not going to find it. So when the happiness comes to you, the small little things, when they come to you, grab onto it, hold on to it, make that part of your memory, and keep going back to, yes, that was a happy occasion. Yes, that was a happy memory. The second thing that older people worry about is money. The most important thing is, will I have enough of it? When I retire, will I have enough of it? I have some good news for you. This becomes a memory. When you reach a certain age, you really can't eat much. So you don't have to spend much money on food, okay? And unfortunately, some people, as they grow older, they also get other diseases like diabetes and hypertension or heart disease, which forces you to give up food. So remember that your spending on food itself will actually come down. There's no way, these are dreams. A thali like this, there's no way I can even look at it, okay? So you will have enough money to fill your stomach, because your stomach is going to shrink and you're not going to be eating much. And with your money, whatever you have, this is the time where you have to pull out of situations like the market, the stock market, and put it all in FDs, because FDs are your best bet. There is no question about it. After a certain age, you should not risk your money, because once you lose it, you don't have enough time to build it up again. So put it away in FDs so that you have some sort of a small constant income. Nominate. So now this is an age where you should nominate your bank accounts, your FDs, your stocks, whatever you have, nominate them, because sudden death means that your children may not be able to access all these things if they have not been nominated for it. And I know people who have been struggling for years to get the money out of the bank, because banks can be very, very tough. So please make sure that you nominate all these things. Write your will. The problem about writing your will is that you face your mortality. You say, hey, I'm going to die one day. Okay. And I remember when, and Arjun and I were 46 and 47 when we wrote our first will. And we said, we have to make sure that if there is a sudden accident or something bad happens, the children are safeguarded, okay? And I have seen people who are 80 who still are reluctant to write a will, and then when they die intestate, their children have so many problems. Please write your will. That's the most important thing that you can do for your children. We do lose our memory, because quite frankly, over all these years, there's been now a data overload, and there is a big loss of memory. And when we used to laugh at, somebody with the glasses on top of their head looking around for glasses, at one time we used to laugh at them. Hello, we have become that joke. We are that person now with the glasses on our head looking all over for it. If you take our day, sleeping takes about 20% of our time. Working takes about 20% of our time. Eating takes up 10% of the time. And 50% of our time at this age is spent looking for things which you just had a minute ago. You go into a room and you're standing there saying, why am I here? You come back to the other room. Suddenly it again flashes back. Oh, yeah, you went into that room to get that book. You go back to that room and again you're standing there because you can't remember. Don't worry, this is very normal. It's nothing wrong with you, because you do remember all the important things. You still remember the name of the drug when you have to prescribe something. You still have everything going on properly, but you just have a lot of data overload. The fourth M part of growing old is you have to maintain your health. And maintaining your health means maintaining your weight, because this is one thing that piles on. We put on up to 5 kilos per decade of our lives. And unless we work at it, you will find that you reach your 6th decade with too much weight piled on. And you have to be very, very careful. Your diet has to change. There's no way you can eat 4 to 5 idlis. 2 idlis is just okay. Even that, you can skip a meal. 1 or 2 meals a day is more than enough. And that also, the quantity has to come down. And this is sadly, when we look at things like sugar and chocolates and sweets and pastries, it's a definite no. However horrifying it is, it's a definite no. I am a particular believer that sugar is bad for you. I'm not a diabetic, but at 35, I decided I'm not going to take sugar anymore, because I know it becomes very addictive. So because you're off sugar, the nice part is occasionally when you're at a wedding or you want to indulge yourself with 1 piece of chocolate, you've done it without having had all the sugar overload for the rest of the day, okay? So occasionally, or rest of the month or the rest of the year. So occasionally you can indulge, but most often these things are bad. Even when you're young, certainly when you're older, these things are not good for you. If you want something sweet, eat fruits, eat some raisins, eat some dates, because it gives you that same sweetness, but it's fructose and it doesn't pile on the pounds, okay? Exercise, again, one of my favorite words, non-negotiable, okay? Exercise has been a part of our lives, Arjun's and my lives, for I don't know, from the age of 27, 28, whenever you have time. It doesn't have to be a marathon. It can be a short walk. It can be a 15-minute walk. When you don't have enough time, it can be a 45-minute walk when you have time. Exercise is absolutely essential to keep yourself healthy and keep your brain healthy. It also gives a couple a chance to walk together and talk about so many things. I think it's a very productive thing. Walking. Mr. and Mrs., keeping up your relationship, just remember that as soon as you get married, lay the ground rules. I'm your wife and your best friend. Since I'm 2 people, my opinion counts twice as much as yours. Make sure that you are number 1 in that relationship. So the thing about being married and managing that relationship is that as you grow older, there are also increasing life stresses. You may be a hotshot CEO of a company, but your son, who you paid huge money to go and do a fancy MBA, abroad. He comes back and says, you know what? I'm going to take 2 years off. I'm going to find myself. Okay, huge stress for you. You don't know what to do. Your parents may be ill, your in-laws may be ill. You are the one who's supposed to take care of them. You are supposed to take them to the hospital, take them for their checkups. And you know what? As you grow older, you find that your husband's secretary is getting younger and younger and younger. So a lot of stresses. You just start wondering, am I worth it? Am I the person, he fell in love with? So there are certain things, all these stresses that work on you. And the worst stress is when your husband retires. He comes and says, now that I have more time, I can use my corporate training to make everything efficient at home. And what all she can say is, oh my God, get him away from me, because this is it. He is now going to try, and I've got my systems at home. Now he's going to try and change it. Okay. And that's why they say that men don't live very long after retirement, because their wives get rid of them. I think that's the reason. The most important thing when we come to is mental harmony, happiness, and acceptance. I believe, and I have worked very hard at this, is that you are happiest when you have no expectations. I've talked to so many people who come to me for counseling, and their biggest reason for sadness is their expectations either from their parents saying, oh, he didn't leave me his house or his money or whatever it is, or expectations from your children. I did so much for my child, but they are not giving me back what I wanted. Okay. That is a road to tragedy and unhappiness. Have no expectations. And you have to train yourself. It's a mental game. It's a mental training. No expectations. Keep telling yourself, no expectations, and you will be much happier. And the second thing is acceptance. We see very many old people who say, oh my, why do I have this? I'm 80 years old. Why do I have knee pain? Why me? And my answer is, why not me? There are people who are suffering with worse. So acceptance that this is how it is, this is how life is going to treat you, will give you a lot of serenity. And then we come to the final act. I'm almost done, Rati. As you said, I'm done in 40 minutes. We come to the final act. This is something Arjun and I truly believe in. Just remember, there is no baggage allowance on the final journey. So this question of constantly trying to gather things, make more and keep more and hoard more, we can't take anything anywhere. Okay, it's going to stay back here. I brought up my children and they know this. Arjun and I plan to die poor, which means that whatever we earn, and both of us earn, that's not like somebody left it for us. We earned, we worked very hard and earned it. We plan to die poor, meaning we're going to spend it on ourselves. We gave our children a phenomenal education, and we taught them that hard work is the only way to go. And they have stood on their feet without expecting us to support them or hold on to them or push them up. They made their way in their world, and for that, I'm very proud of that of them. And that's why I'm saying, just remember, don't try to keep it. Don't try to save it. And particularly in this era of COVID, we don't know when it's going to end. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy it. Don't keep it for a rainy day or later on in life. Okay. So what I talked about today was about reaching your potential. It was not about always succeeding, but whatever you have, whatever gift or talent you have, you take it to the maximum and achieve your potential. To either face success, serenity, or to achieve self-worth, a feeling of self-worth. Yes, I have lived my life well, because the best revenge is a life well lived. Okay, that is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Just remember that when you're working very hard and constantly trying to achieve something within your work, just remember there's never enough time to do all the nothing you want. Sometimes just to relax and just do nothing. There are times where, you have to make that time for yourself, where you do nothing and just concentrate on yourself. And if nothing, COVID has taught us that there may never be enough time to do everything you want. Suddenly the world was locked down. Suddenly we have been losing millions of people. And we realized that whatever we were putting off, we may not ever be able to do it because we're not around anymore. So do everything you want, whatever you have, wishes you have, achieve it, do it, travel, have a good time. Thank you very much, Rati and the entire IPA for giving me this opportunity. It was such a pleasure. And I hope somewhere some messages went to the people who really need them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. If you could just keep the last slide on, madam. Those are all the books that madam has written. The first one, Passport to a Healthy Pregnancy, A Practical Guide to Obstetrics, Essentials of Obstetrics, The Management of Labor, and in Tamil, book.
The Tamil version of Passport to a Healthy Pregnancy.
Yeah. And madam, you've incorporated all the serious stuff in different acts with a humorous vein intertwined. It was a really delightful, madam. I can see that there are a lot of senior pediatricians here. Purushothaman sir, welcome sir. Dr. Rajalakshmi, obstetrician and gynecologist. Parvati madam, Saroja madam. Questions are invited from the audience.
Wonderful talk, Madam Gita. I have heard you before, and it was not a wonder at all for your good talk. I am 71 and I still do a lot of things which you have mentioned.
Yes.
So proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I walk 60 kilometers a week.
Oh my goodness.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. You are an inspiration. You are an inspiration.
Okay.
Madam Gita, congratulations, an excellent talk. You talk about the communication in men. I could not agree with you more. We men are solution oriented. So when we face with a problem, we keep sulking and withdraw into a cave. You women are sharing oriented. You share your problem, you are not bothered about the solution. Because we men are from Mars and you are all from Venus. Thank you.
I think you don't realize that actually women are solving your problems.
That's right.
You don't realize it, but your wife will be quietly solving your problem while all you're doing is sulking. Because,
that's right.
Because we are basically carers and we are literally
nurturers.
Yeah, we are hardwired to make sure that everybody is taken care of in our life.
Right.
You know, whether it's our parents, our in-laws, our children, our grandchildren, we are constantly, doing that. So yes, communicate.
Multitasking is very natural for you.
Yes, very true.
Because we go with a single track mind. That's it.
True.
Thank
but
you.
We can't live without our husbands. And mine is, oh my goodness, such a gem. He's amazing. And I don't think I could have come up to where I am unless he had stood there beside me and said, go for it. He's just the rock in my life.
Dr. Krishnamurthy and Dr. Lakshmi, thank you for being there today with us.
Thank you, Rati.
Hello.
I'm a great fan of Gita. Gita Arjun. And now I heard, now only I knew that you are I'm your same age. She looks terribly young. Anyway, wonderful talk.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. Yeah.
So I think then we can go for the next thing, that is the release of the video. As I said, the video is not incorporating all the wonderful ladies of the IAP branch, but it's only tip of the iceberg. A few of the pediatricians are seen here. Dr. Manjusha, Rajesh, thank you again for doing such a wonderful job. And please, I request Dr. Aparna to release the video now for us to see. Aparna.
I think it will come now. Yeah, IAP is wonderful.
Excellent talk. Yeah,
Excellent.
super.
Sound is
Unmute.
not there.
Unmute.
Unmute, Aparna. Sound does not come, Aparna.
Hi everyone. A happy Women's Day to all the wonderful ladies out there. Today, the 8th of March, we celebrate womanhood. We chose to challenge. Every woman in every walk of life, every moment of her life, challenges herself to the maximum she can do. She challenges the world to show it that she is a wonder woman. She is a multitude of talents. She is a treasure trove. So once again, wishing all our dear friends a happy Women's Day. Now, let's meet some of the wonder women in IAP Thrissur. Needless to say, they are the gems that we have. Let's go and meet them.
Dr. Reddy Shantakumar, Associate Professor in Pediatrics. Madam is one of the most vibrant presidents IAP Thrissur has ever seen.
I have a vision for my Thrissur IAP. With the help of our esteemed members, I wish to make it one of the best in the country. I am ready to invest my time and energy for the state, for the sake. Based on the success of last year's, I am sure we can take this as the stepping stones for future glories. Jai IAP, Jai Hind, Happy Women's Day.
Dr. Sarojam, one of the most senior pediatricians in Thrissur, Madam, with a lucid way of dealing with children, has found her place in many hearts.
Women's Day 2021 is to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The theme being choose to challenge, from challenges to change. So let's all choose to challenge. During this post-COVID-19 world, challenges are not a burden for a woman to come up. We can break up the historic, cultural, and socio-economic barriers and make sure that resources and power are equally distributed. Empower women to take them on their own decision for their personal development in the society, encourage women to achieve their goals independently, to have positive self-esteem, to generate a nation. A woman can change the nation like Malala. I bow before my lady teachers who all have been my mentors throughout my career and teaching. I very well think of Dr. Mary Varghese, who always has been my mentor and who made me understand all challenges are blessings.
Dr. V.K. Bhagat, our After having an eventful career and retiring as a head of Department of Pediatrics, Madam is now busy pursuing her passion.
വെല്ലുവിളിയെ നേരിടാമെന്നതാണ്. ഭക്ഷ്യസുരക്ഷയാണ് ഞാൻ ഏറ്റെടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അത് ഒരു പരിധിവരെ നടത്താനും എനിക്ക് സാധിക്കും. ടെറസിലുള്ള പച്ചക്കറിത്തോട്ടവും പിന്നെ പൂന്തോട്ടവും ഞങ്ങളുടെ വേണ്ട എല്ലാ ഭക്ഷ്യസാധനങ്ങളും എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ അഭിനന്ദനം.
Dr. Kalyani Pillai, Professor of Pediatrics. She has proven herself as an excellent teacher and an avid researcher and is a role model for many young pediatricians.
Women have finally arrived, but we have a long way to go. Happy Women's Day.
Dr. Aparna Namboodiripad, she is the Associate Professor of Pediatrics. She teaches us how a healthy mind can only reside in a healthy body.
Empowerment to me is about the freedom of choice. Choice in not just the small decisions like whether to wear makeup or not, whether to wear a sari, a pair of jeans, or a short skirt, but also in the larger decisions in life: whom to marry, when to marry, if to marry, whether to have a career, whether to have both a career and a home, or to be exclusively an homemaker and not be judged for any of these choices.
Dr. Aparna Gulwadi, she is Associate Professor of Pediatrics, an excellent teacher. She always takes time off her busy schedule to do some Zumba.
Every year is being celebrated as International Women's Day. Let's remember, it's not just on this one day, but every day, every moment of life, we should respect and give women and children, girl children, a dignified life and empower them in all walks of life.
Dr. Nisha Narendra, Associate Professor in Pediatrics. She is a versatile of talents. The IAP editor, a great mom, a good cook, and a nature lover.
Hi to all the wonderful women out there. I would like to tell three points just for you. One is how to stay satisfied. Like people say that if you are adopting your hobby as your job, you will be enjoying your life throughout. But it's not possible most of the time. Not only for women, men also. So what we can try to do is we can actually try to feel our work like our own hobby whenever it is possible, as much as it is possible. The second point is we'll be doing a lot of things for our family on a day-to-day basis by default. But if you can do one small thing at least for someone outside your family every single day, it is really satisfying. It can be as small as giving a listening ear to your friend or something like that at least. The third one is it's really wonderful to see women supporting women and to feel that you're supported by your fellow women. It's really nice whenever it happens. So let's do it more. Let's support our fellow women with all our heart and our soul. So happy Women's Day to you all, and let's make all the days happy Women's Days.
Dr. Dhanya Srija, consultant pediatrician, mom of two great girls. She shows us how girls can grow into beautiful, responsible women who can challenge themselves.
Happy Women's Day to all the wonderful women out there and their families. As a mom of two girls, I would like to stress upon the upbringing of girl children. We should mold them into bold and capable citizens. They should be aware of their rights and responsibilities equally. We should nurture them to grow up with a healthy mind and body. I think we should also be concerned about other women close to us. We should render emotional and social support whenever needed, whether it be mom, in-laws, teachers, staff, or maid. And we should applaud equality for women in different fields. And we should never neglect self-care. Should find some time for some me time for ourselves, and we should grow spiritually and mentally. Find some time for yoga, body toning, and cardio exercises. We cannot take up challenges if we neglect this aspect.
Dr. Nitya Sham, consultant pediatrician, a great academician, an excellent teacher, and a wonderful quizmaster. Dr. Rajlakshmi Iyer, pediatric intensivist. She has dedicated her life to the children. She fought her way to the most prestigious institute in the country and has come out with flying colors.
Ladies, you can do it all. Have it a fancy degree, or cooking, or cleaning, or taking care of n number of people, or going and achieving the unattainable, running a 42-kilometer marathon, all of it, irrespective of what anybody tells you, of what you can and cannot do, of what society will let you do. No. At the end of the day, it's all inside you. There's nothing that you can't do, and there's no dream that you can't achieve. And that's what makes you, a woman, the ultimate multitasker. And that person whom everybody turns to in the time of a crisis. So, ladies, you can do it.
Dr. Alka, consultant pediatrician, a great student, a great doctor, and now she has taken up the role of a great new mom.
So, these are the women of IAP Thrissur who have chose to challenge themselves and reach the great heights where they stand today. A challenged world is an alert world, and to challenge is to bring about a change. We show the world that we are responsible for our own thoughts, our ideas. We want to wipe out inequality and gender bias. Let's choose to challenge the world and show them that we are the best. Happy Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Manjusha. Now I request Manjusha to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Madam. A very good evening to all the respected dignitaries on this digital platform that we have here. So I had written down 2 papers, when Madam told me this afternoon that you have to propose the vote of thanks, I had jotted down something, but now I'm putting that aside. And in the first place, Madam Gita Arjun, Madam, you gave me the dose of motivation that I needed for today. So after seeing so many Women's Day posters and flyers coming out, it was just another day, an international day that came out with, reason for many people to send messages, to put WhatsApp statuses, and then to conduct programs. But this talk that you gave today, luckily and fortunately, Srijit sir has uploaded it in YouTube. I'm going to download it, and 20 to 25 years from now, I'm going to hear it once more. And when I enter that Act 2 and Act 3 of life, I am going to be that person that you talked about today. Thank you so much for your time. It was a huge honor and pleasure to have you with us today. And being the first time hearing your talk, I am totally impressed. As one of the youngest members of IAP Thrissur, I sincerely, wholeheartedly, on behalf of IAP Thrissur, extend my thanks for joining us today, Madam. Thank you so much. Next, I thank our very dear Head of Department of Gynecology and Obstetrics, Jubilee Medical College, Dr. Sarina Gilwas. Madam, as Riti Madam told, she's always a very happy person, a wonderful person to be with. Though I have not been acquainted with Madam, but I have heard a lot about her from her students. Thank you, Madam, for being with us and felicitating this event today. Mrs. Jovina Raffi, the president of the Innerweave Club of Thrissur. Madam has been closely associated with IAP Thrissur. I have been associated with Madam with many Thrissur activities, and her full support is what her best character is. And as a teacher, she truly understands what a pediatrician wants and what her children wants, and that is why she would be the best person to associate with this association of pediatrics. And then I would like to thank our senior pediatricians of IAP Thrissur, Anandakeshavan sir, Purushothaman sir, Srijit sir, Itup sir, Mukesh sir, for giving us this platform. Every day is a Women's Day for us ladies here in Thrissur, because that is the amount of respect that they give us each and every day. Our president, Dr. Riti Shantakumar, there is no word to describe this super lady. Balancing the various roles she has beautifully done each and every one of them, that she leaves no stone unturned to see that each of her member attends every meeting. She is probably the first president who gives a personal call to each member asking them to participate or attend a meeting. Totally impressed, Madam. Thank you so much. You are our backbone. I needn't thank because we are a team. But still, I express my gratitude to the senior pediatricians here in IAP Thrissur, Dr. Sarojam Madam, Parvati Madam, Kalyani Madam, Aparna Nambudri Madam, Aparna Gulwadi Madam, Dr. Nisha, my senior, Dr. Nitya, my senior, Dr. Nisha Narendran, my teacher, Dr. Danya, Dr. Rajlakshmi, my friend and teacher, and Dr. Alka, again, my friend. So this is a great team that we had here. And as Riti Madam told, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many super talented ladies in IAP Thrissur. I can't just name them. And thank you, all you ladies out there, for being the strength. And we are just portraying what the strength of IAP Thrissur is. And women from the very beginning have been named Ma, Amma, Devi, goddesses, whatnot. But the way she has been treated is really bad. She has found herself in between biases, lots of hurdles in her path. But she is one person who's never giving up. Be it her family or a professional life, a woman is a true multitasker. She has been and will change the stereotypes that the world has set for her. And she'll prove to the world that she's indeed the goddess or the Ma that they have been referring to. Thank you so much, dear ladies. And I also thank all the representatives of the Innerweave Club who have joined us today, our dear audience, for joining us today. Thank you so much, and wish every day becomes a celebration of womanhood, and we find our place in this world, and we challenge every step that comes forward. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Before we part, a take-home message is: men are the root cause for all women's problems. Try to figure it out. Thank you, Dr. Gita, Arjun. You made it. Thank you very much. Lakshmi is having a whale of a time, enjoying herself at our expense. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We celebrate International Men's Day next.
Anyway.